First down. Here's Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Right now, express.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Ben Gideon in on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Intended that time for Cooper. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Oh, now he bowls him over. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And finally, he is out of bounds, but not before taking it down near the 15. A big play there out of Cook. 48 yards. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Now a man who began with the Raiders, it's Latavius Murray. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
That was second down run for Murray. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They'll run for it with Cook. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Let's go.
He's going to get it running right. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Kai Forbath on for the extra point. Forbath able to convert the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Forbath out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Carr to throw on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Throwing his Carr on third down. And this is going to be incomplete. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Here now, Johnny Townsend on for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is brought in at the 21. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game. These days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. On second down, Cook. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. They get 8 yards back there, and they could use another one of those now on 3rd and 7. On 3rd down, Cousins. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Express.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. Screen play, Anderson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And all the way down to the 26. A big play that time for the Raiders. 45 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A dump off to Anderson. A really nice gain of 25 yards. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got it 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it, for them to get downfield?
And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. C.J. Anderson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. And his kick is right through. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Second down, Cousins steps away, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Bruce Irvin in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Cousins from the gun on third. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bruce Irvin in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Deshaun Jackson back deep for Washington. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. And now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Anderson. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
1:57 to go in this first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this.
Raider 9.
Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Carr now on 1st down. Out left side here to Bryant. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Following the interception, Cousins. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. No gain on the screen there. It's second down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
To throw is Cousins. Being chased out left. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And Forbath will put this one through, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
So out come the Raiders. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings them up 2nd and 10. On play action, it's Carr. And Nelson's got it here right side. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Anderson-Dejo. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Throwing, Cousins. And the Raiders have got him. Khalil Mack. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 16. Cousins. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Jackson. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. starting the third quarter with Cook. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Yellow, 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 yellow.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Flush to his right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. To throw, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Handoff comes to Anderson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27. Carr now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Now Carr, he goes underneath for Anderson. Had a nice broken tackle and then brought down right around the 20. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
OP. 637. 694. That's it.
Carr now on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
10th carry now for Anderson. And now running right through it. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll run. Anderson. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. C.J. Anderson, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Yellow, yellow. It's in there. Yellow, yellow.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Cousins now on second down. Eluding the pressure right. Room here to run. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
The Vikings on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. Cousins now. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Wide.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Raider D, they get the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. There's the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Jackson's going over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. Carr now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Carr. Throw left side complete. It's Jackson. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down. Stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Now Carr completes it right side to Cooper. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Anderson. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And now out comes Minnesota. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. Cousins on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. The ball comes out, and this will get out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. So fortunately, they're able to hold on to the possession.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
3rd and long for Cousins. Flushed out right. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Justin Ellis in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. With it is Jackson. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. They run the counter now. It's Anderson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Carr going to look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Carr. Screen play, Anderson. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taken in at the 11. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He'll look to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete. It was the free safety, LaMarcus Joyner, that time, able to make the play. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit soon.
He's back to throw. Flush to his right. The catch is made by Kendall Wright. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he stays up. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. He lost 6 there on the first down play. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let it fly. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Back to throw. Got a man, it's right. A gain of 32 that time. First down now, but the clock continues to move. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
First down, here's the run with Cole. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Clock now under 30 ticks and running.
Yellow, yellow, yellow. Yellow. Gone.
Cousins. Flushed out right. And some room to work. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. The Vikings on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Cousins to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Tahir Whitehead. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Carr going to throw here. Flush to his right. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Raiders, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Tennessee Titans come to town. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the calendar changed. October didn't help as they dropped to 0-5 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.